Today I'm going to be showing you how to hand embroider this cute dinosaur. This is embroidery for beginners, so I'll make it as easy as possible. Here are the things you're going to need. So first of all, get yourself some plain fabric. I always use scrap fabric, which is why mine has pattern on it. An embroidery needle, embroidery scissors or just fabric scissors, an embroidery hoop, pink or white thread to do the eye at the end, so you only need a little bit, 3 colours for the main body of your dinosaur, so any colours you want, 3 of them, and then 1 colour for the outline. I'm using wool because I like the texture it gives, but you can use embroidery thread. The first thing you're going to want to do is transfer your dinosaur onto the fabric. So I've drawn this particular dinosaur hundreds of times, so I'm doing it freehand. But if you check in the description box, I've made a PDF of the template of the dinosaur, and there's a couple of sizes there, so you can pick the size that you want to do and print it out, and that will help you transfer it onto the fabric. Place the fabric with the dinosaur on inside your embroidery hoop. Make sure it's as taut and as tight as possible, as this will help you when sewing. Once you've threaded the needle with the colour of the dinosaur's body, we're going to sew in straight lines across the dinosaur. So make sure to secure the back of your thread with a securing stitch, and then just sew in straight lines as straight as possible across his body. Now comes the most fun but also the most difficult part of the dinosaur. We need to weave our stitches, our vertical stitches, through the horizontal stitches. So you need to go 2 under, 2 over, 2 under, 2 over, and you need to repeat this for the length of the dinosaur's body. Once you've done your 2 under, 2 over, 2 under, 2 over, you need to secure the stitch by going back through to the other side of the fabric. This will secure your stitch. Come back up to the right side of the fabric and do this again, but following the exact same pattern as the stitch before. So 2 under, 2 over, 2 under, 2 over. We need 2 stitches per direction. So go in the same direction that the previous stitch is going at. Now this time, when you go through, you need to do the opposite of the 2 previous stitches. So where the 2 have gone under before, you now need to go over, and where they've gone over before, you need to go under. So this one is doing the opposite as your 2 previous stitches, and you'll do this twice again. For the legs and arms, we're going to use a straight stitch to give it a different texture. So like you did in the very beginning before you wove the thread, you're going to go from one side to the other, keeping it neat and straight. Using the colour that you want his horns to be, we're going to do a straight stitch in every triangle, very simple, just to give the effect. Now is my favourite part, his belly. We're going to do a straight stitch again in a third colour, following the path of his belly and being sure not to sew over the top of his hands. We still need the detail of his hands. So he's nearly finished. The rest of the dinosaur is just going to be outlining him to give him more detail. So take your darker colour, your outlining colour, and we're going to do something called a stem stitch. This looks tricky, but it's really easy. We're going to start by giving him a mouth. So what you do is you come up, you make a loop before you go back down, and you come back up halfway between the loop and your next stitch. So we're going to do this stem stitch the whole way around the outside of the dinosaur. It's quite tricky, so I'm going to show you again on his legs how to do it. I know stem stitch can seem confusing and it's easy to get lost of where you're starting, where you're going, so I'm just going to show you once again on his leg how to do it. So if you look here, we're going to go back down into the fabric but keep a loop, and before we pull it tight, come back up halfway between where the thread starts and where the thread ends. Be careful when going around corners. What I usually do is end the loop at the beginning of the corner so that my next stitch can be perfectly straight and flush with the edge of the corner. I usually do about 5 or 6 small stitches for the white of his eye, but do as many as you want. The bigger the eye, the more stitches you'll need. Using the remainder of the darker thread that you used to outline, I would do 1 or 2 small stitches in the centre of his eye just to give him a pupil. And he's finished! He's so cute! This took me about 2 hours, but I have done this many times, so I would love to see the dinosaurs you've created. You can send them to me at my Instagram, and love to know how long it took you and if you found this helpful. Also, don't forget, if you click on the link below, there's a PDF to the Dinosaur Template to help you with your dino. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!